CKDMJ here. This is a little bit different of a video. This is not a review or a fun ATV trip. This is a just basically detailing my experience with trying to use Xfinity internet at my house. So let's get into it. Alright, first thing you'll see is this orange, really big, thick orange cable. Goes across the yard. Then it goes across those neighbors' yard in that neighborhood, and it goes all the way to the front of that house that's right here, that house right there, all the way to the front, and goes into this little node. The reason why they did that, there's really no other reason other than the installer was lazy, and he did not want to go up that telephone pole right there that's in our yard. And given it is a long span, it has to go from right here all the way to right there, but you know, that's all our property, and he didn't want to climb a pole, I guess. Next is the actual service. So it's supposed to be 1100 megabit up or down, sorry, and 300 up, and it never hit that. It never got over 100 on the upload, and the download wasn't 1100, so the service couldn't operate at what I purchased. And given they already took that money out, so the service is already paid for, and they're not really able to provide what I actually purchased. So here you see where they ran the big cable into the little box. They didn't affix anything to anything. You can see this is just laying up in there. It's not screwed into anything. It's not affixed. Nothing like that. Kind of, again, lazy. And then the line that runs into the house that comes out of that box, look out for that wasp that was in there when I was poking it, and it goes up to here. Now I made the hole in that soffit because that guy didn't want to do that, because he was, I don't know, maybe he was scared, maybe he didn't, his company wouldn't allow it for liability reasons. But anyway, I made the hole, and I was going to put a box up there and put a pass-through and make it look really clean and nice. And he said, oh, I have all the stuff, I can take care of that part. So using my ladder, he climbed up there, and you could see he gobbed some clear silicone on there real haphazardly and crappily, and then that goes up into the attic. Now once you get into the attic, I did all that. I climbed up in the attic, I pulled the line in, I drug it across the attic into the space where we needed the modem to be. I dropped the line down the wall, I pulled the line out of the wall, and again the tech, we had a Cat 5 wall plate on there. I pulled the Cat 5 out the back, so it was just a wall plate with a square hole. Instead of putting a wall plate on that's specific for cable and has a pass-through and looks nice, he just put the cable through the square hole where the Cat 5 used to be and put the plate back on the wall. So we got this rather large Cat 5 size square hole in a plate in the wall, and a, you know what size a cable wire is coming out this thing, and it looks like crap. It doesn't look good, and it doesn't terminate in the wall. It comes straight down from the attic. He pulled it through the wall plate, so there's no termination in there. So, you know, if you could pull that and it pulls all the way through the attic. Again, lazy and half-assed. Oh, I forgot to mention this part when we were talking about the cable going up the hill to those neighbor people's house. The neighbor people were they were kind of ticked off about that. They looked me up online, found my number, called me, and were complaining about it and whatnot. And I told them, you know, it's got nothing to do with me. We just bought a service. Comcast did that. I didn't do it. But anyway, they came this morning at 6:30 to dig the trench to bury the line. So the guy comes up here and knocks on the door at 6:30, wakes everybody up in the house. No qualms with him. He's just doing his job. He's doing what he's supposed to do. But anyway, it was stupid early. And then he walks up the hill to talk to those people and tell them, hey, I'm about to dig a trench in your yard and bury this line. The people up the hill said, hell no, ain't happening. So now the trench digging guy came down here. Let's also keep in mind that Xfinity never had anybody come out and mark utilities before they sent the guy up here with the truck. Not once. No utility markers were made. No utility marking people ever stepped foot in my property or the property of the people that they ran that cable in their yard. But instead, they just send a ditch witch up here with a dude to run it, to bury this cable, and I guess hope all was well and they didn't hit any utilities. But anyway, neighbors denied, and then the ditch witch dude had to leave. So now we got no buried cable, and we still have a cable laying across the yard. There was also speak of fees, because there was I think $65 a month is what the service cost, and then there was a $39 fee. I think that was a self-install fee or something like that. And then there's a modem rental fee, which, you know, I'm fine with that, because I didn't want to have to deal with trying to find equipment that was compatible and whatnot. And then apparently there's another $100 fee. So we're talking the $65, $100, $40, all for this service that doesn't actually work and cannot do what it's stated to do. Not a good look. Not a good look. I'll leave it this, because I'm not doing this to bash any companies or anything. I'm just doing this to highlight the experience I had with this company. But also, it is absolutely impossible to talk to anybody at Xfinity. In the app or on the internet, you can go to a AI assistant, basically a chat bot, and you can talk to a chat bot. But there is no phone number to be found. I'm sure they have a phone number somewhere, but there is no public phone number listed. There is no phone number that can be found through a Google search. There is no phone number in the Xfinity My Account app. So basically, they made it just about impossible to speak to someone other than an AI chatbot. So I don't know how we're going to remedy this situation with them, because obviously we're going to have to cut ties, because they can't provide the service. They can't bury a cable. They can't run a cable. They so far they haven't done anything well or correct, for that matter. And I don't know how we're going to cancel it. It says we have a 5-year price lock, but it also says that we're not in a contractual agreement. They've already taken over $100 from my account for this service that we haven't really been able to use. So we'll see how it goes. So if you're watching this and you made it all the way to the end, leave your comments about Xfinity Comcast. If you have a positive one, definitely leave it, because I haven't heard a whole lot of positive, and I'd love to see somebody satisfied by these people. But anyway, that's it for today. See ya.